invoice object. So as we have to go to invoice object, we know this is our quick search where we have to type objects and should be into, as we have created our custom object, it should be inside build create objects. So let's go here. And here we can see like we have created two custom objects. One is invoice and one is invoice product. So invoice product is nothing but a product lines which will be related to invoice, which we were discussing. So if you see the slides, are we having the slides? Yeah, this is the slide. So this is our invoice, and with the invoice, we have invoice products. All right. Now we'll go inside invoice. We can see these many fields we have inside the invoice. And apart from that, field, yeah, these are the fields, right? And with these fields, we have some couple of different, so we have different fields related to invoice object. One is master detail relationship, another is a contact, which is a lookup. And similarly, there is our if you will go here, as products, standard field. These are the standard field. You can check by hovering here. You can check, okay, these are the standard field. Invoice number is one which we have created. And then these are custom fields and relationship, which we have maintained with this invoice. Okay. And we can see the page layout. I will take you guys to the page layout, and so whenever you create any object with that object, one page layout will be automatically will be created. So as I have an invoice object, when I started creating this custom object, so there was a page layout. So page layout is, so one page layout will be, our Salesforce will create one page layout for you for that particular object. So you can just see that object, how it looks. So this page layout, I'll just take you guys to this page layout later. But yeah, that's the funda. Like uh, for every object, how so you'll be seeing right here. Like when you click on here, this invoice here, here for this invoice, we have some layout. Okay, so that layout is a page layout. So that layout will, so we haven't made any customization to this layout, but yeah, Salesforce have created. So it is, this view or layout is created by Salesforce, and this is how we are seeing. So inside this, we have related parent-child relationship for the invoice product. So here we are able to see the same. All right. Now we have two things. One is like, suppose here in our invoice, if we have two, oh, okay, so here we have an invoice, and with this invoice we have an account. Okay, so now suppose if we want to if we want to create an address field here, and we want to know, we want to record the address on the invoice itself. Like we want, like suppose which country this invoice is created. So as this invoice is being created for particular uh, company, so there should be a address on top in this. You see, there is this billing address. So is there a way we can pull the data, or while creating the invoice, when we are having this address field, is there a way we can just pull the address from the account, like country or any field which it have, and just have it here, like something like that? So so we can do that. So it is like, so we have two things. Okay, so there is this Salesforce. This is relationship, a roll up summary. So the Salesforce provide two different kinds of field type. One is roll up summary, right? And formula. So you have used formula field, but this is different. We'll see like how we can apply this formula field and how it just uses. So in this case, there are two different kind of scenario we have. So one is we have, let's draw. One is this account, okay? And then we have an invoice, okay? And then there are these invoice items. Okay, so these are the invoice items and these are the invoice. Okay, so on this invoice, there are these invoice items, you can say multiple invoices, okay? And with the so the basic thing is like, suppose on this particular invoice, okay, so suppose if you want to create a total, like how much total is there for a particular account, or so how we can do so that one. So if we have to go up, then there is this roll up summary. There is this roll up summary field. I will give you the detail, then you will understand. But basically, the thing is like, suppose we have with every invoice we have a total. Okay, so suppose for one company we have a multiple invoices. Suppose 5 invoices, and on those invoices we have some total amount as a 20, 30, $40. Okay, so if you want to calculate all all the pending amount, how can we do that? So we can do that with the roll up summary, like it is going up. So we can do that with the roll up summary. But the same if we have to do, suppose if we have to utilize the address of the account field, so it formula field will always go downward. So where whatever address is having, you can just pull the data from the address field, but you cannot pull the data from address field as a roll up summary. So roll up means aggregating the value. So whatever things are there in here, you just want to aggregate and pull in here in this field, or whatever things are there in here, you want to pull in here. So if it is a little bit confusing, I will just show you here, so you'll get some idea. So basically, what I'm saying is here you have invoice. So this is invoice 003. In this invoice 003, we have this product, invoice product. Okay. So when you'll come onto this invoice product, we have, you see, total. Okay. So there could be multiple invoice products. Yeah, so the invoices. And if you will go through the invoice, If we'll go through the invoice here, on this invoice, we have one product. So, but there are chances like on this particular invoices, we can have a multiple product. So let's go ahead and create another product. My product 2, quantity 4, unit price is 20, and this is the invoice. On this invoice only we are creating. Okay, so let's save it. Okay, let's go back. Yeah. So when you will see this invoice 003, now we have two invoice product. So that what I'm saying is on particular invoice, we can have a multiple products, like we can create a multiple products. So is there a way which Salesforce provide, like we can directly seeing the invoice, we can check what is the total amount of this invoice? Like here, can we create some field? You got the idea, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what we'll do is let's create this. Let's create and so here where are our fields? So suppose we are onto this invoice object and we are seeing this invoice product and we want to create a new field. So there are different ways, like you can go to setup objects, but there is a quick way to create from here. So this is quick access menu, which you can just click, and here you can see the fields, and there is this tiny button to create a new field. You can just click on that, and here it will land you to the field creation page. So here you will have to select the roll up summary. So what we are doing is we are rolling up the invoice product total field to invoice detail. So we want to aggregate the values which have this invoice fields, and we want to put in here. So we'll just keep it here and then we'll go to next. And we will see this as the total field name total. Let's go next. Total value of invoice. Same, let's give it to help text. And let's click on this next. Okay. So when you land onto this uh, step of 3 out of 5, so here you have invoice. So this is the master product. Okay. So in this master product, it is asking, so it knows like, so it just work on the master detail relationship. So we know like it is able to figure out like, okay, this invoice product have one invoice products. So invoice products master is invoice. So it is so if there are multiple master. So as we know, like on one product we can have two master detail field. Earlier session I just told you guys, like we can have two master detail relationships. So here we have one which we are able to see. So this is the invoice product. So we can select that, and what we want to do, we want to count. Okay. So we want to count that particular field total value. Okay. And all record should be included in the calculation. Only record meeting certain criteria should be included in the calculation. Okay. Here we'll say like all records should be included in the calculation, because on invoice we want to check all the values which is there. I mean, all the values. Okay, this is count. And then when we are creating this invoice, we have different values also, where sum, minimum, maximum. So you want to sum total quantity unit, but we want to, what we want to do is we want to count. Oh, sorry, we want to sum the total values, right? So here we want to sum the total values. So what is count? So count is you'll not have any value. So it will just check how many invoice products are there. Okay. So how many invoice products are there in this invoice? So that count will just give you the number. But when you are doing sum, it will be summing up all the invoice product particular field, which is total. So I'm giving total, then filter criteria. You can even filter some criteria on the field. Like we can just like we will only add those total values, which is less than this on that. So let's go next. Let me just interrupt me if you guys have any question here. You'll see it is a read only field, so you'll not be able to modify because this is this is also working on the roll up summary also, and you this is kind of working on top of two different fields. We are not putting values together, so we have this read only uh, option onto these fields. So it's because like why read only? Because this invoice object or anything invoice product or anything, it already have the values, total values. Okay, so you cannot just make any changes to that. So it's working on to that total only. Okay, let's go to next. So it's asking the layout, but we'll say that layout only. Okay. Okay, so on invoice object, do we have total? Yeah. So here you can see in custom field and relationship, we have one roll up summary created. So earlier when I was giving you this, I mean, when I was giving the session and I was telling where I can use the roll up summary and where I can use the formula, then I told you like we can use the roll up summary. So with the roll up summary field, you can see like there is this box which is saying like it is currently being calculated. Okay. So this we can see, and here when you'll come onto this invoice, you see we got the total for this invoice. This is the total, and when you'll come here, it will say like it is a read only field. You cannot just modify. So that was the reason on the fourth step, I think we were not having option to just make changes to read only. So this is the how you can just roll up all the details from invoice product. So let me tell you, let's check manually whether it's giving correct value or not. So on this we have total $40, and then on this it is total $80, and here it is giving $120, right? So it is giving correctly. So what we did is, let's see this. What we did, we just rolled up all the detail from this invoice product. Like we rolled up all this, we aggregated the total value of the all the invoice product which is there, and we made a total out of it. So here we go. Suppose if we'll be adding a new product, saying my product 3, and we are wanted to add 5, and its unit price we wanted to give as a 30, and if we will save it, then its total price is 150, but our our invoice price should be 270, I think. Where are we? 270, you see. So you guys got the idea behind it, what we are doing?
Yeah. Just adding all the invoice product
Yeah.
into
Yes, yes. So this feature where we have where if we suppose if this invoice have any field, okay, so this invoice have any field which have the master detailed relationship with the invoice. So this invoice have a master detailed relationship with the invoice product. So this invoice is a master of invoice product. Okay. And if you want to create or aggregate the values on a particular field of this invoice products, you can do that with the roll up summary. So that's what it is. So who is the master of this invoice? There is a master detailed relationship of this invoice with account, right? So if you'll go here into this invoice, there is this hierarchy. You can see this invoice is created for this account.
For
And
Burlington Textiles.
yeah, so this account is a master of this invoice. So we have created a master detail relationship. So when you will come in here, okay, here you will see all the invoices created for this account. Okay.
Okay.
So can we just have any field here on the account level, which will just give us the total of all the invoices available for this company? Like what is the amount of the invoices which is created on this company? So by seeing the company only, someone came on the company and he can say, okay, so these are all the invoices which are created on Burlington Textile Corporation of America. Okay, so this is what the pending amount we'll have to do. So we can do that again with the same field, which is a roll up summary. So how can we do? We are on to the object itself. We can go click on this wave field and this button new. And once we land up here again, we'll have this roll up summary. We click on next. Here we can say like it is the invoice total. Invoice total. Okay. Total of invoice value, which that's it. The same to help text as well. We can go next. Here again, we want to sum up all the values, right? So we want to summarize object. Which object we have for this account? Invoices. So these are other fields, but we wanted to have this invoice. Okay. So on this invoice, we want to sum up the values of the total. We can select the total. But now we want to filter those invoices only which are not in drafted state. I mean, we don't want it to show those invoices which are still being created. We only want to show the total of those values which are already created. I mean, which are overdue or something. So what we can do, we can just filter it out, and we can create the filter based on invoice status. Let's say we have the status this. So the status should be equal to not draft, but invoiced, overdue, or paid. Makes sense, right? Hello. Is there any confusion into this, Rahul or Pradeep?
No,
This is
clear.
this is clear, right? So what I'm doing is on a particular company, I'm checking what is the amount pending for all the invoices which is invoiced, overdue, or paid. We are not adding those values which are still in the draft state, because if something is in draft means we don't know the final amount. It could be increased or it could be decreased also. So we don't want to include on a company level. So what we can do, we can go ahead and click on this next. Again, you don't have permission to do anything with this. It's visibility, you can just manage, but I'll just go whatever Salesforce have already selected for me, because we have to make sure, like for system administrator, we should have it checked. If it will not be checked, you will not be able to see that field. But as system administrator, you will always have this permission to come and change these values. So let's go to next. Here, account have already some layouts defined for different profiles. So it is just showing those layouts to you. It's automatically selected. You can choose whether you want it on them or not. So let it auto selected. Don't have to do anything. This is the default one. Let's go ahead and click on save. Okay, here you can see our field, custom field, which is created, and it's saying it is calculating. That's good. Let's go ahead. You can go to accounts, or you can go to invoices, and from there you can just traverse to account. So what we can do, let's go ahead and see with our invoices. And here on in our invoices, we have this account, Burlington Textile Corporation of America. Inside the account, you can just come and see here. We should have a total somewhere in here. Where is invoice total? Okay. Okay, so I think those are into drafted state only. Those that invoice. So it's saying zero, right? It don't have any value invoice total. I believe this invoice status is draft. Yeah, you see it's draft. But if we will finalize this draft and if we will say it is already invoiced, then
Show the value.
it will just give you the total of whatever 270. Okay, let's go back and no, sorry, this total is we are seeing onto this invoice level, but on account level also, because this is invoice, we should see that value 270. If we will have another invoice also, let's create a new invoice. Okay, let's say yeah, today status, let's say it is invoiced only. Okay, we can create some notes. Invoice. LinkedIn. Text. Guys. All right. Okay, so this is the invoice we are creating on this account. Okay. Here we don't have sub status on invoice because we haven't created that relationship between. So this is a field relationship. If you guys remember, this is a field relationship on. So if you will just select draft, it will just come back alive again. But as we are discussing. Okay, so this is the invoice. Here we can just save this invoice. And on this invoice, we can add some products. Let's say this is invoice, new invoice, product, and this one we are adding as a 5 quantity with $30. $30. All right, let's save it. So here it is values $150. And when you will come and see, yeah, okay, this is the invoice. When you will come and see onto, so these two invoices are created on the same account. So this is created on the same account, Burlington Textile. So when you come on this, you'll see its value increased to $420. I think this is clear to you, right?
Yes, yeah.
All right. So create the same summary field. Okay, before you guys go ahead and create, let's create one more field. So there is two field which I was talking. One is a roll up summary and another one was formula field. So yes, so what we wanted to pull the address information from account name to our invoices. So we wanted to pull some data from up in the hierarchy to the downwards. So that we can do with the formula field. So let's go on to this object and let's create a new field. And let's say we wanted to create a formula field, which will be the address. Okay, let's say here we will say invoice country, country, right? And this country will be having the value as a text. Okay, so this is the formula return type. Whatever formula will calculate, it will just give you the text out of it. So this is what we are choosing. Let's go next. Here we can choose what is the field which you want. So let me close. So what field we want? We want to get the account billing address or right. Or suppose if you, so this billing address will give you the total billing address detail. But as we were discussing, we wanted a country. So here you see country, billing country. So we can just insert it. So if you would have chosen address, the complete address could have come. So here you can choose. But suppose if we wanted to create this invoice on different address, we wanted to create the all the invoices on the contact, whatever contact we have. So that one also we can choose from here. We can just go on to this invoice. Here we have contact. Okay, so if you read on the top, it is saying select a field, then click insert labels followed by this caret indicate that there are more fields available.
Okay.
So inside this, we have more fields available.
Yes.
This is the account where you can just directly have the account, but here we have different fields. So on the contact will have address, right? So let's go. This is the mailing address, but we are interested into billing address. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There should be a billing address as well.
Okay. On top.
Birth date is there, but I think on the contact there is no billing address. Oh, on the contact we have account, and on the account there is this billing address. So you have to go this way. But as we have already chosen, let's go ahead and create this invoice on the company itself. So this is the billing country. You can check the syntax and we are good with our syntax. And here it is saying blank field handling. Treat blank field as zeros, but as we are working on the text field, we will be choosing treat blank field as a blanks because zero doesn't, we don't want to keep trailing zero or something, right? So let's go next. And again, these fields will be read only for us. And here we can choose like what all profile you want to show this.
Next.
There you have this invoice layout, and then we can just save this. All right, so where are we? So we have on the invoice, we have created a new country. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Country. Yeah. So this is the country on which this invoice is created. Okay. So when you will come onto our invoices, when you will see this, our invoices are here. Let's come here. Let's reload our page and you see. So we got this country. It is coming out of Burlington. So when you click onto this, you'll be able to see its billing address of USA as a country. So there are two. Yeah. Yeah. Pradeep, you were asking something.
No, I said okay. Yeah, it's clear.
So this is clear, right?
Yes.
All right. So create those three fields. One is I mean, two fields. One is roll up summary, and then there is this formula field. Just create this, and if there is any question, I'll just help you out.
There is some like power cut issue. Rahul is just messaging the group. So we'll be just following all these things. I will follow this.
Okay, sure. So I will just upload the video.
Mhm.
Okay, and you guys can go ahead and practice this. And let me know whatever you guys will decide. Actually, I'm thinking if it will not work out, we will see how we can just go with this only.
This
But I'll
might
just try. Hmm?
if this will work out, because in that way we can by seeing your videos we can practice at the same time. And moreover,
Yes, yes,
try to make some small videos like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in part by part, because if you
yes,
go
yes.
continuously for 1 hour, then probably again it will be confusion.
No, 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 no. I will make some 10 minutes video only because whatever we show I delivered today. So I'll just try to make that into two parts, let's say two or three parts.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that.
it will be easy.
Or
Okay, Pradeep.
and
Hmm.
suppose if you're getting any doubt, then we can ask, we can get into the call on the same day, right? Like before inform
Yes.
you, at least 2 to 3 hours before we will inform you. Like there are
Yes.
some questions we have, we can get into in that.
Yeah. Sure. That will be good. I think that's good approach. It and so that we can just fast track also our
Yes.
course. Yeah.
ठीक है भैया, we'll do it in the same way, and we'll create some field now, whatever you
Okay.
decide.
Sure. Sure, Pradeep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.